Yo, how's it going, guys? Last night I saw Megadeth in concert, and real quick, just want to share my thoughts of the about the show because it was freaking amazing, and I just want to talk about it a little bit. It started at like 6:30. I got there around 5. I got there really early, so we're just kind of sitting, waiting for a while. Three other bands were there. Fire from the Gods was the opening band. They were the first band that played, and I'm not really into that kind of music. It's just not my cup of tea. So no disrespect to the band or anybody who likes it. It was a little too rap metal for my taste, and I'm just not big on that type of thing. Just not my cup of tea. That's all. Like I said, and so then the next band was the Who, not not the band with Roger Daltrey and Pete Townshend, of course. The Who, HU. They're a Mongolian folk metal band. I didn't know anything about Fire from the Gods or the Who. The HU. I guess that's how it's pronounced. That's what everybody was saying at the concert. It was like, who? I was like, who? You know, that old joke. But anyway, yeah, they're a Mongolian folk metal band. They play really unique instruments, just like nothing I've ever heard before. It's got to be seen to be believed. I actually ended up liking them a lot, so I didn't know anything about them, and now I do. Now I want to check out some of their stuff. I think there's a song called Black Thunder, which is freaking awesome. Yeah, they're really cool. Very unique stuff. And then, of course, Megadeth was the next band. And see, they weren't the headliner. Five Finger Death Punch was the headliner. I'm not a big fan of them. Again, no disrespect to the band or anybody who likes them. It's just not my thing. I'm just not into that. I feel like I'm just too old for the whole F this and F that, and I want to fight everybody and all that stuff. Again, it's just not my thing. You know, if you're into that, more power to you. That's great. You know, you're not wrong. I'm not wrong, right? You know. But anyway, yeah, Megadeth wasn't the headliner, but they opened for Five Finger Death Punch, and Megadeth were friggin' amazing. They put on a phenomenal show. At first, the vocals weren't loud enough, and I couldn't even really hear Dave Mustaine's between song banter. But I guess they turned up the PA at some point because I could hear more and more like throughout the concert. I do wish the vocals were a little louder. But it was still loud enough because like at first it's almost like I could hear myself talk like over the band. That's never happened to me at a concert before. I feel like the sound could have been a little better. But other than that, they still killed it. They tore it up. They just ripped. It was amazing. I really like the lineup they have. It is a shame that David Ellison's not there on bass anymore because he was, you know, on so many of their classic albums. I really do wish I could see the bass player that was present on, you know, Peace Cells and Rust in Peace and all that. Yeah. But they did have James Laminza. He's probably my second favorite bassist they've ever had. They've only had a couple other bassists other than David Ellison, like James McDonough and like maybe one or two others. But yeah, James Laminza is my second favorite bassist they ever had. And he tore it up as well. He was in the band from 2006 to 2010, I believe, 2010 or 2011. And now he's back. He just joined the band earlier this year. I guess the great Steve DiGiorgio played guitar on their most recent album, The Sick, the Dying, and the Dead, which I really need to get my hands on. Because what I've heard from it is really awesome. I don't think they played a whole lot of new songs. There's a few songs I didn't recognize, so they're probably from one of their newer albums I'm just not as familiar with. But it was killer, you know, regardless. So anyway, yeah, it was James Laminza on bass. Yeah, Dave Mustaine, of course, on guitar and vocals. He is Megadeth, really. Kiko Loureiro on lead guitar is amazing too. I knew he was a great guitarist already. He's been with the band since like 2015, I believe, or something like that, somewhere around there. And yeah, after seeing him in concert, I think that he is right up there with Marty Friedman and Chris Poland as one of the best guitarists Megadeth's ever had. He was just freaking phenomenal. Yeah, him and Dave, their dueling solos were just immaculate. I was just in heaven. I was just like, oh yes, this is so awesome. And I guess Dick Verberin is the name of the drummer. I hope I pronounced that right. Yeah, he's been with the band for a few years too, so he was really good as well. He just tore it up. Anyway, yeah, so they opened with Hangar 18, which I figured they would. I had a feeling that they'd open with Hangar 18. They played some newer songs I didn't really recognize. They played Sweating Bullets, Trust, Dystopia, the title track of the album of the same name, Symphony of Destruction. Eyes went nuts. The whole crowd went nuts when they played that. Peace Cells, yes. Holy Wars, of course. And a few other great ones. And oh man, that was an amazing set. I really do wish they could have played like Reckoning Day or The Conjuring or Wake Up Dead. But it was still a killer set. Maybe Countdown to Extinction, the title track. You know, there were several songs I would like to see, but I guess since they weren't the headliner, they didn't have as long of a time slot. I guess Five Finger Death Punch played for like, I don't even know, maybe 2 hours. So anyway, yeah, Megadeth came on. They toured up. Dave Mustaine talked a little bit about the throat cancer he had a few years ago and how he survived it, and he said something like, again, this was during the part where I couldn't really hear the mic. I couldn't really hear the PA all that well. But he said something like, yeah, not even cancer will keep me from you guys or something. He got really emotional. That was really sweet. Really a heartfelt tribute. They talked a little bit about 9/11 as well, which that's today, of course. Yeah, we'll never forget that day. This nation will never forget the tragedy, the horrific event that happened in 2001. And yeah, he talked about that a little bit because it was last night, and then they talked a little bit about today's date. Let's see what else. He's not quite as wild as he used to be. He's a lot more mellow now. I guess he's sober, and yeah, he's just a lot more. He was a little quiet. He did have throat cancer. Bless his heart. But he still tore it up. It was just amazing. His guitar playing was on point. His vocals were top notch. Even though I couldn't hear him very well at first, but they did fix that eventually, which was great. Yeah, everybody was great. James Lomenzo, Kiko Loureiro, the whole band was just awesome. Like I said, I do wish David Ellison could have been there, but what can you do, Yeah, they were just, oh man, they were just awesome. I was just in heaven. Really cool stage show too, the lights and everything. It was amazing. I got a few pictures. Yeah, there's me at the concert. There's some pictures of the, oh yeah, Megadeth. It's great. They put on a great show. Oh, it was just phenomenal. It was just absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, I don't know if you can see him very well, but anyway, yeah, great show. So yeah, so then they came, they rocked, and then they left. Five Finger Death Punch came on. Again, I'm not a big fan. I stayed for a few songs. It's good for that type of music. It's just not that type of music I'm not really into. But if you're into that thing, great. They're good at what they do. It's just what they do. And just like I said, it's just not my cup of tea. So I stayed for a few songs. I actually left. I had a long drive ahead. I had to travel pretty far to get this concert. It was getting late, and I said, I'm just gonna stay for a few songs just to say I did. Just get my money's worth and then leave. I think the second best band that was there was The Who. Like I said, HU. Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to checking some more of their stuff out. But yeah, Megadeth was just friggin' awesome. Highly recommend, if you haven't seen them in concert already, definitely do yourself a favor and do so, because they just tore it up. One of the best concerts I ever saw. Yeah, I got the shirt at the concert too, of course. Those are all the dates. Yeah, got this awesome shirt at the concert. Yeah. Oh, they even brought Vic Rattlehead, the mascot. They brought him out during Peace Sells. That was really cool. It was just a guy wearing a Vic Rattlehead mask, and that was pretty awesome. He wasn't there long enough, though. I tried to get a picture, but he disappeared before I could. I was like, oh, really? But oh well, it's all good. Maybe I could find a picture online or something, or a video or something. But yeah, it was just killer. Absolutely killer. They tore it up. It was amazing. One of the best concerts I ever saw. Highly recommend you go check them out if you haven't already. Alright guys, thank you for watching my late night spook show here on the Horror and Metal channel. I'm Hellhound, and keep it metal, my fellow headbangers.